And we're back. Hello, I'm Adam.
I'm Lauren.
And this is Shanti. We all live together on board our 59-foot narrowboat.
Join us as we show you what our day-to-day life is like living on the British waterways. Hello, YouTubers.
Hello, YouTubers. Wow, it's been a while since we said that.
It's been a very long time. I think it's almost been 3 months.
It's been 3 months. I looked this morning and it said our last YouTube video went out 3 months ago. We never intended it to be this long. Thank you. We've actually had quite a lot of messages and emails and stuff on Instagram being like, are you guys okay? Where have you gone? We missed your videos.
You disappeared.
God, don't talk about sinking. We nearly did.
Yes, we did. We'll talk about that later. So why do you think that we haven't been around for 3 months?
I think there's been quite a few reasons. We've had quite a lot going on in our personal lives. We went to India for 4 weeks, which was incredible. We'll tell you a bit about that in a minute. And also I think I do a lot of the editing and stuff, and also I do editing on some other channels and it's my job. And I think I didn't estimate how much work it would actually be filming and editing a YouTube video to put out every single week. Like, you know, these are like 20 to 30 minute videos and then you're filming a few hours of content. And I think I was trying to be really conscious of the fact that I felt like every day, anything Lauren and I were doing, I was like, need to film it, need to film it, need to film it. And it was actually taking me out of the present a bit. So let's have a break. Then let's come back and maybe make a video every other week, and just kind of when we feel like it and when we can really like produce videos that we feel we're proud of and that you guys are really going to like, rather than just videos that because we feel like we have to do it.
Eliminating the pressure.
Eliminating the pleasure, absolutely. So shall we talk a bit about India?
Absolutely, babe.
We last went to India 4 years ago and we were there for 12 months, so it really feels like a second home to us, and we've been wanting to go back for so long, and because of Shanti and the boat and COVID and all of that, we didn't.
Well, it just didn't feel like the right time to go back to India, even though we always loved it and wanted to go back. I think it's important to only do something that feels right.
What were your highlights of India then?
Arriving and being reminded of the culture. They have such a different way of being, and I just love to capture that as I arrived from the airport, just having the conversations and just seeing how they interact with each other. Like, it's very common for people just to speak to each other in the street. Like, they don't have a clue who they are, but they're happy to spend half an hour with them having a chat about whatever it is. I can't speak Hindi, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's like a really fast way of life, but also a really slow way of life at the same time.
Yeah.
The way I always describe India is like every sense is going to be to the extreme. Like, you're going to see the best and the worst things you've ever seen. You're going to smell the best and the worst things you've ever seen. You're going to taste the best and the worst things you've ever tasted. It's like there's no middle ground. Everything is like 200%. For me, my highlight of India was definitely, so when we were there 4 years ago, we met this group of women and they are Rajasthani gypsies. So basically, because of the caste system there, they don't have an equal opportunity at life. And when we arrived last time, one woman had just arrived into this community with her 4 children, and she didn't have a place to sleep. They all live in tents and she was just sleeping outside the tent. So we basically, I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to show you a bit about how that journey went. So today is a very exciting day. We've arrived in Pushkar, which is a town about 3 hours away from Jaipur. We were here once 4 years ago, and when we were here we met this community of Rajasthani people who basically, because of the caste system, they're like travelers, so they live in tents just outside of the town. And when Lauren and I were last here, we really connected with them and they invited us to their tents. And we basically ended up funding and building a tent for one of the women who had just arrived. She'd escaped like an abusive marriage. And we didn't know if they'd still be here 4 years later, but they are. And we saw them yesterday and they remembered us and they were so happy. So today we're going to go back over to visit their camp. And yeah, I thought it would be cool to document it and show you a bit of them. And yeah, and I have a sty on my eye as well.
Oh my god, I can't believe you're here. I'm so happy.
We also don't believe you have people coming.
As promised, they are here and we're back with them. They're insisting on giving Lauren henna and giving us all of their jewellery that they usually sell because they're just really happy we're back. They didn't know if they'd ever see us again. Say hello, everybody.
Hi.
Happy to be back together?
Yes.
So we were just reminiscing on how we first met, and actually we was hitchhiking quite a bit through North India, and one of the rides, a man gave us I think maybe like 500 rupees or something, and we kept saying to him, we don't need your money, we don't need it, please keep it, and he wouldn't let us not take it, so we had to take it, and we said we're going to have to pay this forward, and we got to Pushkar and we saw this lovely lady Guti, and she had 3 children and she needed some milk for her children and some food, so we went into a shop and we spent 500 rupees on all the food and probably a little bit more as well, and then that's how our friendship blossomed, and here we are now.
They just learned that we got married last year, so they're super happy. We were just showing them all the photos from the wedding, and then soon we'll go back to see their home again. Last time we met Guti, she didn't speak English. Now 4 years later, her English is so much better. Little. Reunited. This little one was literally just a baby when we met her last, and it was her who we bought the milk for Beauty, and she seems to have taken to Lauren again straight away. So this behind me is the home of Guti. I'm gonna show you it now. They're making us some lunch, and it's crazy because we actually helped build this tent where last time we were here. So yeah, it's just so mad to be back. So this is the house of Guti. They keep all their water out here. This is the door. And inside we're preparing some food. Say hello!
Hello!
Got Bimla, got Lauren. They're looking at all of Lauren's photos on her phone. Got the doggy. And yeah, we're showing them all photos, videos of the children, because before they were obviously 5 years younger. So they're finding it really funny to see videos of themselves. What are we cooking, sister?
Mutton, tomato, dana, kanda, garlic,
coriander, peas,
masala, number.
salt.
Yes.
And we're crushing it, huh?
This one cutting or making.
Yeah.
Kutna or banana.
Pestle and mortar. We were just talking about how some things are just the same wherever you go. The kids love the phones. So it's food time. What we got, Loz?
We have got a vegetable curry, pea curry with chapati.
It smells
Really good chapati.
amazing. Thank you so
Is
much,
there a name?
Guti.
A name for this?
This name matar, tomato. Matar tomato.
Butter tomato.
Very important.
So they've now dressed Lauren up in their traditional Rajasthani clothing,
Yes.
and they have to give her a bindi because now she's married. So
And you also
when you're married, you wear the bindi.
Yeah.
Married.
so that's why you put on
Now lipstick as well.
Proper Rajasthani woman now.
No, too much. You come my house and you
Perfect.
Indian marriage. ये कोई दिन चिटली मेरे ये कोई दिन चिटली मेरे ये कहिया बोलो ये बनी ये मुख में पाना दी बीड़ी ये कहिया बोलो ये बनी.
So Bimla, who's the main lady we connected with the first time we came here, she was helping because Guti did not speak English when we last came here, and we went to ask her where her tent was, but actually now she has a home. So with the helping of funding of different people that they'd met and like her making money and saving money, she's managed to buy herself a small house, which is maybe like 5 minutes walk from Guti's tent. So we're actually going to go check out where she lives now. Something really different about these ladies is that they don't let their children go to the market, because other people are letting their children go and beg and things like that. but they make them go to school, they fund them to go to a local private school, and their children are not allowed to go to the market. So I'm going to show you inside Bimla's house. Now it's no longer a tent. She's got electricity, which is obviously way better than before. And we found something very special in the corner, which is a box that Lauren and I and our friend Poppy actually painted when we were here 4 years ago, and they kept it. It's obviously rubbed off a bit now. Such a good memory to see this. She's got a roof and proper insulation. And now hopefully one day Guti will get a house as well next door because there's enough land. So she misses being with her friend Bimla. I mean, it's only a 10-minute walk away, but she says that, you know, it feels a lot safer in the house than it does in the tent. Now she's there without Bimla and other people. So yeah, hopefully one day, maybe let's see if we can help them a little bit. So we just got back to our hotel. We're just like reminiscing on the day we had. I can't explain. I don't know what it is about this group of women. Like as soon as we met them last time, we just connected with them. Like there's a lot of travelers and gypsies and people across India, but there was something about the heart of these women, particularly Bimla, who's like helped so many women that come here and don't speak English to help fund them, and any money they get from doing henna and things they share as their little community. And we were actually just thinking about trying to raise some money for them, basically to maybe get Guti a home next to Bimla's for her and her 4 children. I think a home costs around £2,000, and obviously I thought, like, I've got a decent sized following on here, so it would be cool to do some good with it. We're like, imagine 2,000 people on here just gave £1. We could buy this woman and her 4 children a house. So I'm just putting it out there. Hello.
Hello.
We have woken up so happy and overwhelmed, and we were nearly crying when we woke up and we looked at the Just Giving page.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much we raised overnight. There's currently £1,591. So that's £409 to go. We're
Can
gonna.
you believe that?
They still don't know. Guti and Bimla still don't know. We're gonna see them in about 4 hours. We always meet at sunset. But thank you so much to everyone that has so far. This is just nuts. Honestly, we're so grateful, guys. We did it. I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. Like, honestly, unbelievable.
Thank you, brother. You also my house coming. I'm very happy, and you also living there. Thank you so much.
I love you. You're the best.
Oh my God.
So yeah, thanks to the power of the internet and people, we actually managed to raise enough money to buy her a home. And still now the whole process is happening. They finally have the money. She should be in the house this week. But yeah, that's been epic. We are still also raising some money for them, so I'm going to put the Just Giving link below. No pressure, but if you do want to support the cause, then that'd be really great.
And the boat. What's been going on with Ram and Rose?
The boat. Well, firstly, how good did it feel? Like, we loved India, but to get back and actually be back on the boat felt...
Yeah, absolutely crazy, isn't it? Because I remember when we travelled before, getting back to England, I was like, oh, I hate England. There's so many rules. And then coming back from India this time, I was so excited about being here. Because we've got our little boy Shanti and our home, it was exciting to come home.
Well, yeah, when you enjoy your life, you look forward to coming back from a holiday, and just, don't know, I missed the boat. Like, being back on the boat's been great. It's been great. Also, eventful. Adventurous is a positive way to say eventful.
Well, I like to be half full.
So when we went to India, we'd left the boat in Ellesmere, which is on the Llangollen Canal, and the plan was to come back and have about 2 or 3 weeks to get the boat over to a place called Aqueduct Marina, where we were going to black the boat. Yeah,
so in January, we actually realised and thought it's really important for us to get our boat pulled out as soon as possible, because we've had the boat for about 2.5 years now, and we've never blacked her. So blacking is essentially where you're putting a type of paint on the hull of the boat, and it's a protective layer to stop your boat from rusting underneath, and just to extra protection.
And they say you're meant to do it like
between 2 and 3 years.
every 2 to 3 years.
So it needs to be done. So in January we were like, right, let's do some research, because it's so important to do it right. When you're using bitumen paint, you have to put, I think, 3 coats on, and you have to make sure that it dries in between the coats, and it's dried right at the very end. It's enough drying time before you put it back in the water. We've heard like horror stories of people getting their boats blacked, and they get their boat in the water, and like a week later the paint is already falling off into the water. And
so we'd found this amazing place that had been recommended called Aqueduct Marina. It's near Nantwich. Massive shout out to them. They were so helpful the whole time. We decided we were going to black the boat ourselves, so they were helping us with what we're going to need to do. They were going to lift our boat out the water. We get back to England thinking, yeah, let's go to India to the whole of February and miss the winter. And we get back and it starts snowing. And there's snow blizzards and it's minus temperatures.
Oh, it's freezing.
It was freezing.
Like...
Quite beautiful, but we were like, crap, like we're meant to be blacking this boat next week and it's snowing. So we were talking to them back and forward.
We were confused at how long it would actually take for the paint to dry. Plus, the weather was saying that there was going to be rain all week. We just kind of thought it was probably a good idea not to do the blacking next week.
It just felt like the right decision. So we called them, and honestly, the guys at Aqueduct Marina have just been so kind and helpful. Even though we had to pull out last minute, we'd actually paid a deposit and they let us use that deposit money in their chandlery to buy coal and all things like that. Like honestly, we can't thank them enough. We're kind of gutted we're not going to be there.
Yeah.
But
we actually went over and chatted with them, and
then we were left with like, what do we do? And for some other reasons, we have had to start heading south towards Leicestershire. So we were scrambling around and we found somewhere that's going to black our boat, which is a whole nother amazing story that we're going to tell you in the next video when it comes to doing all the boat blacking. But we basically had, I don't know how much distance to do, but something around 50 to 60 or maybe even 70 cruising hours, and we have about 10 days to do it. So we've been having to push 6-7 hour days, which has been fun and sometimes difficult and sometimes raining and sometimes snowing and sometimes beautiful. But we're going to show you a bit of that journey, travelling all the way down the Shropshire Canal, back up towards Stafford and onto the River Trent. So it's been eventful. You're about to find out why. Doing great.
I can't believe how fast we're going. Sorry. It's like I'm looking forward and it's fine, and then you look to the side and this boat has never been this fast.